Welcome back to yet another episode of Silhouette Paint Masterclass. In today's episode, we are just going to continue exploring different tools inside Paint interface. In the last video, we have explored till drag tool. If you guys missed previous two episodes of our tools for prep and paint sessions, please check out that in my channel. So today, first of all, we are going to check out eraser tool, and the shortcut for that is Shift E. Using shortcuts in your work is very important. That is really going to speed up your workflow. So always remember the shortcuts for each tool sets inside this interface. So what basically eraser tool is, just from the name itself we can understand, it erases the paint strokes or previously painted paint strokes. In other words, we can say that this tool reveals back the input or the plate. I mean, whenever you're feeling like, okay, the paint strokes which I just painted is not right, you can just use eraser tool, that means Shift E, and reveal back that, or you can bring up the plate. Let's see some practical examples. First of all, I'm going to take a color tool and select white color here, draw some paint strokes, take eraser tool, and you can just erase that. It's that simple, so explore this tool in your work. Next one in the list is grain tool, and the shortcut for that is G. So when you're painting in a footage, you might have noticed that it becomes smudgy or it becomes blurry. So it's important to add some texture. The easiest way to do that is adding some grain on top of that. So for that, we can use this tool. You can see the properties right over here. We have size, which controls the size of the grain. We have amount, and we have softness. The other interesting thing which you have here is monochrome. If you're adding grain on top of a plate which don't have any chroma value, you can use this option over there. That means you can turn on this option, and maybe I can increase this a little bit. Let's take a blur tool and blur this area. I don't want blur to be that much. So let's keep this value, and I'm going to take grain tool and I'm adding on top of that. You can see now it's not blurred. We have a texture right over the place where we painted. Now you can see the texture is monochrome. That means it doesn't have any chroma value. If you uncheck this option and press Ctrl Z, now you can see the grain pattern as chromatic. So yeah, that's all about grain tool. Okay, so next one is mosaic tool, and the shortcut for that is M. This tool is a prefabricated tool just to create a pixelating effect. That means if you want to create a pixelating effect here, you can take this tool and just draw a stroke. All the pixels are a combination of the color values, which is just below the stroke. If you're drawing right over here, you can see a mix up of both these colors, and we have properties right over here like size. We can control the size of the pixels. That means if you're keeping maybe 15, you can see the size of the pixel is way smaller than the other stroke. Next one in the list is repair tool, and the shortcut for that is R. This is a tool which I hardly used in my work. I posted in the Silhouette forum about this tool and I got a reply from there, and repair tool can be very useful for painting using the last pixel selected, that too in the detail or color mode. I have already selected repair tool and I'm going to draw a stroke right over here. You can see I have started the stroke from here, and the color selected is the one which is almost an average or maybe a pixel right over from here. So if I reduce the size of the brush, you can see the color selected somewhere around here is this one, and I drew a stroke using that color. So instead of keeping normal as color mode, if I'm keeping color, you can see the effect is slightly different. I'm going to show you here so that it will be much more clear for you. You can see the color which I selected from here is this one, and I'm able to draw a stroke or a color only on the color values. So basically we have two layers here, like color layer and detail layer. You can go and check that right over here. Inside the color layer, you can see these all are the colors in the footage. Also, if we keep detail layer, you can see these all are the details in this footage. This is just similar to the frequency separation. So I'm going to keep this in output. Let's keep the mode as detail, and let's see what the result looks like. Result is very different than the other one. I'm not sure where you can use this. If you guys are using this tool in some other ways, please comment it down so that everyone can learn. Let's move into the next one. Next we have scatter tool, and the shortcut for that is Shift S. This one just helps us to scatter the pixels. I'm going to draw right over here. No, I'm going to keep the mode as normal here. Maybe delete this stroke. So let's draw a paint stroke over here. If you zoom in, you can see we have some changes here. If you want to see this even more, you can come over to the properties, and we have a radius here. Just increase the radius, keep this as 100, paint here. Now you can see the pixels are scattered in different way. I mean, for sure we can use this brush for creating glass effect. I hope you understood the situation which I'm talking about, and the shortcut for that is Shift S. Next we have stroke tool, and the shortcut for that is S. If you see our viewer, you can't see a brush in our viewer. That means this tool can't be used as a brush. Instead, it can be used as a tool for selecting the paint strokes. I'm going to draw some paint strokes right over here. Like inside the paint history, we can see there are a lot of strokes, and I can select a stroke right over here, and you can see stroke is selected in the viewer as well. But if you want to select this stroke, we can't easily find that inside the history, or else we need to click every stroke and see which one is that. Instead, we can take the stroke tool or stroke selection tool. Right now we can see all the strokes in the viewer got selected, and if you want to select this specific stroke, you can just click on that. And if you want to select multiple strokes, you can hold Shift and click on all the strokes which you need to select. By mistake, if you selected 2 strokes, and if you want to deselect one, if you hold Control in your keyboard and select, that got deselected and our needed stroke got selected as well. So, and I hope I explained all the tools inside the paint interface, and you all should have a clear view of where you can use these tools in your work. I accidentally left one tool, which is clone tool. It is an amazing brush which can be used in many ways, and it is one of the important tool as well. So I'm going to make a specific tutorial for that very soon. Stay tuned for that. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions about any of the tools which I explained in these 3 sessions, please comment it down.